Sasabe, Arizona sits right on the U.S.-Mexico border. It's not much more than a picturesque church, a general store and market, and somewhere hidden in those hills, a world-class dude ranch. The rate of violent crime here is just about zero. But behind me, beyond that U.S. border checkpoint, is Sasabe, Mexico. And right now, that is a whole different world. We are taking you into this Mexican border town that's been taken over by armed smuggling gangs. This is like a ghost town. Beauty parlors, restaurants, everything's boarded up. The main street is dusty and empty. Abandoned homes and businesses line each side of the road. This is Sasabe, Sonora, Mexico. It's never looked picturesque, but it's never been this deserted. 2,500 people called this town home just weeks ago. Now it's desolate. Take a closer look at the walls and windows and you get a hint of what happened. This is what drove all these people from this community. A war between two rival smuggling gangs, and the people who lived in Sasabe were caught in the crossfire.
Gunfire.
They
were being
gunfire.
threatened and they were shooting all around their homes. Well, you saw the bullet holes.
Gail Kosarek is a volunteer with the Tucson Samaritans, an aid group that's been helping families who fled Sasabe.
I was there on Friday and it was kind of weird. The next day, during that night, it started.
When you say it started, what started?
The fight for Sasabe.
Why would Sasabe be important for a drug gang?
Human trafficking is huge.
Kosarek says the gangs are fighting for control of a human smuggling corridor that funnels migrants across the border into Arizona. That's the local police department, locked up and abandoned. The library, the school, the playground, remnants of a thriving community, all deserted. Every once in a while, a vehicle speeds by. This man, who asked not to be identified, tells us we're the first Americans he's seen since the gangs took over, shooting at people, setting homes on fire, and moving into the abandoned buildings. He says there are about 20 original residents left in town. This is a smuggler's war, but its ripple effects are felt far beyond this deserted border town. Across this stretch of Sonoran desert, from Lukeville to Nogales and south from there, areas where Americans travel to resort towns like Rocky Point and San Carlos, warring gangs are using almost unimaginable violence. Here, hanging a rival gang member who was set on fire on the side of the road, leaving a warning that this will happen to anyone who helps that gang.
Wouldn't you run with your family? I would. I would say, hey, I'm not living here when there's bullets flying by, my neighbor's getting killed, they burned my neighbor's house out. I'm getting out of here.
Kosarek says some of the Sasabe families were able to get temporary permission to enter the U.S.
It's really sad to see, because they're just people like we are.
Back in Sasabe, we see dogs wandering the streets, sitting in front of their owners' abandoned homes, a sign of how quickly they had to escape. And we are there as the Mexican National Guard pulls into town, Humvees passing us one by one. In the distance, we see guardsmen going door to door, and the fight to reclaim Sasabe appears to have begun. We've been here for about an hour. That's the amount of time we said we would spend here, so now it's time to head back north.